While you're out enjoying the beach, barbecues, and those lovely summer 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing that you're worried about. And that's why you should consider making the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at just $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. The coverage and speed that you're used to, but with way less cost. So while your friends are sweating over their data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chillin', literally and financially. So say bye to overpriced wireless plans and jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages, because Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. Again, delivered on the largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with you too. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Honestly, I'm considering making the switch to Mint Mobile myself after all I have learned recently since we started working with them, and you should consider it too. It's definitely a massive price decrease from my current provider. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/diaries. That's mintmobile.com/diaries. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Did you know that there are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our world? From the food we eat to the air we breathe, and even in the skincare we use. They could be messing with your hormones and making you feel like you're stuck in a mystery of your own body. And just like the plot twist in your favorite book or the most insane true crime case you've ever heard of, hormonal changes like perimenopause or menopause can strike at the most unexpected times. Suddenly, you're dealing with mood swings, sleepless nights, and all those other symptoms that make you feel like you're losing your mind. Here's the good news, though. This is one mystery that you can solve with Happy Mammoth. No need for a long investigation. Just take the free 2-minute quiz from Happy Mammoth. Answer a few questions about what you're experiencing and where you're at in life, and you'll uncover the real culprit behind your hormonal symptoms. And the best part, after taking the quiz, you'll get a personalized recommendation to help you balance your hormones so you can feel like yourself again. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. And now here's the beauty about adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. That's where Hormone Harmony is perfect for women of all ages who are struggling with life-disrupting symptoms such as menopause, PMS, racing thoughts and low moods, poor sleep, occasional bloating, and no desire to be in bed next to someone, if you know what I mean. Happy Mammoth is dedicated to making women's lives easier, especially moms. And that means using only science-backed ingredients that have been proven to work for women. They make no compromise when it comes to quality, and it shows. We worked out a special deal with Happy Mammoth, so for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code DIARIES at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DIARIES for 15% off today.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Unscripted, where we talk about everything that we've found online because, like we've said over and over, we are chronically online, or just things we would normally talk about. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Paige. Yeah, you're basically listening in on one of our phone calls or text threads. So it's a lot of fun, and thank you for being here. I wanted to address one thing. We got one comment, and even though it's one, I just wanted to address it to everybody in case anybody else had the same feeling. We got a comment that showed that a longtime listener was wondering, like, is Unscripted taking over? Because they really do enjoy the true crime episodes and they're important, right? These are missing and unsolved cases. No, Unscripted is not taking over the RSS feed. We promise it's being released once a week, the same as the true crime episodes. So while it might look like it's being released a lot because once a week kind of is. And so on your RSS feed, it should be like unscripted and then a true crime episode, unscripted, a true crime episode. We have no plans to stop creating awareness through episodes for missing and unsolved cases.
We haven't lessened the frequency of the true crime cases that we cover. Every Thursday, you'll find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So we're there twice a week now. Mondays for unscripted, Thursdays for Murder Diaries case coverage.
Yep. So thank you to that listener for the comments, because we always want to know what you guys are thinking. And these episodes may not be what you prefer, or you might not have really been listening at all. And that's okay too. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. And we wanted to create a chance for you guys to get to know us a little bit, because it's not really the most appropriate to do that when we're trying to create awareness for a case. Anyways, with that, I want to discuss Tiki, the dog on TikTok. Natalie, has Tiki made it to your For You page on TikTok?
He hasn't, but I'm surprised because I get an awful lot of dogs on my feed. So fill me in. What's he all about?
Tiki is a rescue / foster. So let's actually really foster would be the correct classification right now. And he's been with his foster mom, who has fostered upwards of like 25 dogs already. And he is thriving. He had to have his little eyes shaved. And his backstory apparently is so upsetting that she won't share it.
Oh, it must be pretty bad.
It's really bad. It must be.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. His little eyes, like I said, they had to get shaved. So right now it looks like he has like a white band, but I think it's just because the hair is growing back. He's like a little...
Is he blind?
He's not blind, but maybe there was an issue. Maybe there was something that had been covering his eyes and it caused problems.
You know, I only ask because I have a special place in my heart for blind dogs or one-eyed dogs, because my little Zoe golden retriever was a one-eyed dog.
That's a reason I love doing unscripted. Like, I wish everybody could know that about you, like how well you took care of this high needs dog. It made me fall in love with you as like a friend.
Oh,
That you were such a good mom,
that's very sweet.
Zoe. And I mean, you could barely leave her for an extended period of time. And she was such a sweet, good dog too.
She was. And, you know, I love that about you too, is that when we first started recording, you would let me bring her over to your house.
Yes.
And she would just sit there by our feet. That's kind of what she did. She just needed to be nearby,
Yeah.
but it was hard to leave her anywhere by herself. So I was really fortunate that I could bring her with me everywhere I went. And then, you know, that also turned into bringing my other dog with me, because how can you just bring one, right?
Exactly. You got to bring them both. But
Yeah, you keep it fair.
RIP to all of our past dogs. And Tiki, I think, is inspiring maybe even some new dog owners. The foster mom, her name is Isabel with one L, Klee, Klee, on TikTok. And I really encourage everybody, as long as it's not super triggering, because again, she doesn't share the harsh story. What she shares is the light after that storm. And it is incredible. Like, he was so fearful. He didn't even want to barely leave a crate when he first got there. Then, you know, he just keeps improving and making leaps and bounds. Like, he was so scared of people, including Isabel. And now he's finally just started going onto the grass outside, which was really hard for him. So she's putting cheese down, like these incredible things. And you can see in some of these moments, she just wants to like scream in like happiness and excitement and like joy when he, for example, finally stepped onto her lap. That was a huge one. And you just know she just wants to turn to our partner and be like, oh my gosh, like, look.
But she has to keep it cool. Otherwise, he'll get startled.
And that can cause a huge, huge moment of regression for him. And they've had those moments. So it's not all perfect. And she talks about that. And honestly, even the way she presents these great moments, it's not necessarily presented only in this way of like, look how great this is. Go foster dogs. This is amazing. She does talk about how like, well, you know, today's day 28 with my incredibly brave foster dog. And yesterday was rough. Last night, after I posted that video, you know, XYZ. And so we had some regression, but, you know, and not all days are perfect. So it's not like doom and gloom, but it's very real, a little bit raw.
It's honest.
It's honest.
I think a lot of people, when they look to fostering animals, whether it's a cat, a dog, whatever, They don't realize that it does come with ups and downs, and they expect these easy journeys, and it's not always that. So I appreciate that she's painting a realistic picture of what it's like. I wonder if he's going to end up being a failed foster. That's what they call dogs who end up finding their forever home with their foster parents.
I wondered too, and she actually did a video, and I think this is an important piece of this conversation. And I've heard it before, and it is very hard to understand. It is. But these foster parents are like, no, like, I only want to be a foster dog parent for this dog. And a lot of times they already have 1 or 2 dogs of their own that are very well trained and are actually oftentimes help facilitate the foster situation. She said that she understands why everyone wants her to keep Tiki, myself included, especially just given what's apparently happened with Tiki. It just feels like it makes sense. It's just like the safest, you think, mentally moment for him to stay with her. But she's like, no, the point is for me to get him to a point where he trusts humans, where he doesn't feel like the way he felt with me in a new home. So don't worry, like, he's not going to go anywhere until he's ready, kind of thing. But also she's like, if I keep Tiki, it's going to stop me from being able to foster other dogs. And there are so many that need fostering. So I kind of started to understand in that video that she made. She's like, I just really want to address this. Like, as much as we would love to keep him, it's just not the route that is supposed to be happening. Like, it's a good thing you think that we're such a good home for him, because that's our job as foster parents, basically. And he will go to a great home and not ever have to hopefully leave a home again. With a dog like that, if you adopt them, you have to be so sure that, like, even if you have hard days with them, that you're not going to give up on them, because those types of dogs, if you can't just rehome and rehome and rehome, like, they need that stability. I'm pretty sure she's seen it all. She's probably thinking in her head, like, you guys, my other fosters were this scared too. Tiki just kind of touched a lot of hearts and took over the internet because I started making videos about him.
That's nice that she has thought about it, though, because she understands where her strengths lie, and she understands that her skills may be able to help multiple other dogs after Tiki.
Right.
I really tip my hat to her to be able to do such a hard job and a loving job, because a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, it's not like she's going to be excited to see him go, in the sense that, like, she's not going to miss him or anything.
You're right.
It's going to be probably one of the most bittersweet days ever. Anytime somebody fosters a dog that cannot become a foster fail. And I'm sure she's not quite looking forward to it necessarily in certain ways, but in other ways, it's going to be the sweet side of bittersweet, in that she knows she did her job. And because of what she's done, that Tiki can go thrive in a home for the rest of his life. I respect that she didn't share his story. I wanted to touch on that again, because sometimes you turn on TikTok and, like, that kind of stuff just, like, bums you out.
It's trauma dumping a little bit.
It is. It could be a little trauma dumping, and people are trying to make awareness, like, stop dumping your dogs in a park, when we literally have systems, at least in the US, and I'm sure many other countries, there are systems where you never need to dump your dog. There are so many other safe ways, non-kill shelter ways to do it. And actually, my cousin, that's a veterinarian. If I had a freaking, like, quarter for $1, let's say, in this economy, it's $1. Okay. It's not a nickel anymore. If I had $1 for every time I start a conversation with, oh, my cousin, that's a veterinarian. I love her so much. She's so smart. And she says that actually adopting from kill shelters is great, because it's one less dog that might be killed. Unfortunately, the system is that way with those shelters. And unless there's a huge movement, disallow, and I don't know what that would look like. So she's like, it's kind of one of those things where not adopting from a kill shelter isn't necessarily hurting them. It hurts the dogs that are there. But also, I do think that there is always a time and place when it comes to adoption for animals as well. Testing for hip dysplasia. There's a test that starts with O, and then there's, like, the pin test. Both of those are acceptable. But, like, hip dysplasia is huge in a lot of dogs.
Well, it's really sad too, because then they can't get up. They have trouble walking.
And it's always bilateral, so it's expensive.
Mm-hmm. Besides the financial cost, it's just a poor quality of life for the dog. And that's not what you want for somebody that you love and cherish and is a part of your family.
Right.
That's pretty big in German Shepherds, which Ari's a half. Her mom was a German Shepherd.
Yes.
So I always get worried, like, oh, I hope she doesn't get that. But I mean, she's 12 and doesn't have any issues with her hips right now. So we're pretty lucky.
With Ari, she has enough height. German Shepherds actually tend to be pretty short with longer bodies.
I mean, she's huge. People never believe that she's half husky because huskies are about 40 pounds and she's 90 because she's half and half.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
I don't think she'll get dysplasia at this point, which is good. A lot of times I think the proportion plays into it, or at least dogs with posies and German Shepherds proportions. They can tend to have those problems with dachshunds because of all the weight that their smaller legs have to carry. I was shocked when I found out that German Shepherds were in that category because you don't think of them as a bigger dog.
No, it's like a big thing for them.
It is. It's their proportions, but you don't see it because they're bigger.
Mm-hmm. You know me, I could talk about dogs all day because I love them. And it's really ironic because I used to be terrified of dogs. I was talking about that with my friend who's a photographer who took Zoe's end of life photos. She was like, I used to be terrified of dogs because I was attacked. And I use that term loosely. As a child, it felt like I was being attacked. And maybe now looking back, I was probably just jumped on quite a bit until I got saved. But yeah, it's interesting how you can do a flip when you get your soul dog. Zoe was my little soul dog. And I think she was actually the first dog I ever held and let sit on my lap. And I was in college when I got her, and the rest is history. Now we can talk about dogs all the time.
Now we're dog people.
We're dog people. Honestly, you know how growing up, I don't know if your mom's like this, but my mom had like an animal that everyone would always get her. And I feel like I hear that a lot about other moms where like they had roosters. My mom had elephants. People get me things with dogs on them all the time. It's always a golden retriever, a husky, or just dogs in general. And I feel like I guess that's my animal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, definitely. In getting a corgi, people chose that life for me, even though I love it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily choose it either.
Exactly. It kind of falls in. And that's part of the joke with it too, of like, you like that animal and you get like one thing and then people see it and they're like, oh, they're like elephants. So it's like every Mother's Day or birthday or Christmas, like it makes your way. But it's kind of cute because it shows that people are sort of paying attention to those things. But it is kind of funny that it just kind of falls in the trap.
When they see something like that, they think of you automatically.
That's what it is. You might not even love having an overabundance of, say, elephants, but like there's a sweetness to it and a like, hello.
Yeah. My mom got to a point where she was like, you know, I do love elephants, but I have so many. This was like a blanket statement to all of us. She's like, you don't need to get me anymore.
Yes.
Like, and honestly, like, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Luckily, people aren't totally bombarding me. Again, I think it's sweet. I've gotten 2 hats as a gift. One has Corky. The other one, it says Dog Mom, which you and I have feelings off and on about that.
I do.
I would call myself that. And the hat is very sweet. And I totally wear it because it looks cute. But it's not always something that, especially with infertility trauma, that you're always going to blast.
No, I don't mind if I buy something that says Dog Mom, but I've gotten a few mugs. I've gotten a few shirts that say it, not purchased by me. And I appreciate being seen and recognized.
Yeah, you still feel it. It's good.
But it almost feels like a consolation prize when someone that is a real mom gives you a dog mom thing. They're like, I see you, but you had to settle. I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like after you've lived somewhere for a little bit, you just have accumulated so much stuff. It's hard to be organized when you have an excess amount of things. I love gifts, but I'm also getting to the point where I'm like, please don't get me any gifts unless it's like exactly like what I want. I would rather people save their money.
Yeah.
Thank you for thinking of me. Let's go hang out. Let's go do something. You don't need to buy me anything.
Spring is here, and it's time for some spring cleaning. HomeGlow is here to deliver consistent and affordable support for you, too, to get your spring cleaning done. HomeGlow is a top-rated service platform dedicated to making your space clean and tidy. Their website allows you to book online, which allows you to instantly schedule a cleaner in your area for a special occasion, that party you're getting ready to host, or just to book some regular help to take some things off your plate. What's comforting is that cleaners have to pass a rigorous certification process, and they also have to maintain a 4.8-star average platform rating. We know you're going to love your cleaners, so make sure you rate them really well too. HomeGlow is also a fantastic way to support the cleaners in your community because 100% of the cleaning fees and tips go directly to the cleaner that you hire through HomeGlow. With that, we are so thankful that this episode is brought to you in part by HomeAglow. Now let's talk about their Forever Clean membership. Schedule your cleaning by simply going to HomeAglow's website, choose the day and time you're looking for, and how long you want the cleaner to clean for. Then you'll get matched with a cleaner. You can schedule as quickly as this week or get something on the calendar for next month to check it off your to-do list early. On the website, you'll be able to check out photos and reviews of background checked cleaners before booking the right cleaner for you. The best part is that Forever Clean membership we talked about, which saves you $30 an hour on all future cleanings. You can book unlimited cleanings starting at $19 an hour, backed by HomeAglow's happiness guarantee. HomeAglow services are only available in the US. Take cleaning off your plate by using HomeAglow. Head to homeaglow.com/diaries to get your first 3 hours of cleaning for only $19.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
My birthday a couple years ago, one of my besties since, we went to CCD together, and that's how we met. And then we went to junior high together. We went to a movie and a cheap dinner right by the movie, and we made friendship bracelets because we went to the Eras Tour movie. She was going to go to the Eras Tour with me when Randall was on the fence. So I said, let me see if she wants to go. Because, it was a little deeper in pandemic days where people were coming out of cocoons, if you will. And some people had been out for 2 years and some people were eking out. I was an eker. So I was like, I'm ready to eke out and go to the Eras Tour. And she's like, okay, yeah, me too. And then there was just some certain things that stopped her from being able to go. And she was very truthful about them. We both have lots of anxiety. So we get each other. We call it the darkness. We'll hang out, but if somebody's having the darkness come over, we'll text. We're like, hey, are we still on today or has the darkness taken over? Occasionally, one of us will be like, the darkness took over. Or she'll be like, I'm coming over, but my zits are out and I'm in leggings.
I love the authenticity that those friendships brings because it just is refreshing to be able to be upfront with how you're feeling.
You don't want anybody harboring resentment that like, oh, you dragged me out or like, oh, like I want to do this. It's like, just be real. Like, oh,
I do appreciate sometimes when I feel like I can't cancel because occasionally I'll feel like I can't cancel and then I'll go and I'll think, oh, I'm so glad that I put myself out there. It depends.
Right. You can't always pick it to the darkness. But all that to say, when we went to see the Eras Tour movie, it was like a full circle moment since Randall went to Eras Tour, which that worked out for him because he was pleasantly surprised.
And Tim saw you guys there.
And I got to see Tim. And thanks to Tim for my coveted blue Taylor Swift sweatshirt that I wear all the time. I told my niece because she was wearing hers, but hers had the hood on it. I was like, oh, I have that one, but I have the crew neck. And she's like, that's the one I really wanted. But she went to Toronto. So, that was so late. My brother took her. Is that not so freaking cute?
I remember you saying that. That's honestly
so sweet.
The best father-daughter bonding.
And I'm jealous because she got to see the new TTPB set. But all that to say, before I'm like way off, that was such a great birthday. Like we made friendship bracelets and ate some Habit Burger, watched the movie, and had a nice time. And that's all I needed. I didn't need some big gift that you probably spent too much money on that maybe I would or wouldn't have picked out myself. Gift giving's not my love language. Like I don't need it.
I feel like gift giving used to be maybe like 2 or 3 for me because, you know, like you have your main love language and it used to be pretty high up there. But as I've gotten older, I'm more of a quality time person.
Yep.
I've even told Tim like, hey, like what if we just tell our families we're not gift giving and let's all go do an activity for the holiday. Yes. I would much rather spend my money doing that than buying some random thing that they're not going to care about in a month or something.
Yeah. When gift giving isn't your love language, it doesn't mean you don't like giving or getting, but it just means like it's not the main thing on your mind. I guess growing up in larger families, maybe it kind of prepped us because like my grandma having 20 grandkids, we did not get birthday gifts from my grandparents. And then I see my husband literally got money from his grandparents on his birthday and stuff, which is very sweet. And it's like, wow, to have that in my family.
I feel that way about me and people my age, but for my nieces and nephews, it's really important for me to still give them a gift because I want them to know Aunt Natalie thought of you.
Yeah.
I love buying my parents stuff. I love buying my nieces and nephews stuff, but now all my siblings, sibling-in-laws, they have significant others. They have money they can buy everything that they want. They don't really need what I'm giving them.
Can I tell you the best gift I think I've ever given?
Yeah.
Growing up, something that was really important to my parents was our yearbooks. Even my sister and I, who did attend school together throughout the years, being 2 years apart, we still got our own yearbooks. Her senior yearbook, my freshman yearbook, we both got a copy. And we both...
Well, yeah, because people sign them.
Right. This is what my mom wanted. Now, sometimes with siblings, that might not happen. My husband and his brother, they shared a yearbook. Neither of those bozos even know where any of the yearbooks are. We don't have his yearbooks. We have mine. And they didn't grow up where they couldn't afford that. It's just like how some families do it. It's not as valued, right? Because it is going to be something that ages. So anyways, that was really important to my parents. And I started to kind of like learn growing up. My sister and I used to play games with my brother's yearbooks where we'd play like, I'm it. We'd open it to a page and we'd pick the quote prettiest girl and be like, I'm it. It was a lot of fun. And so we used to play with my brother's yearbook and my mom had an old yearbook. So we liked yearbooks, I guess, and encyclopedias too.
Okay. That was a thing. You would order a whole set, 26 book set of Britannicas, and they would have them on QVC, these commercials for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Now it's just dated.
Right.
I don't know anyone that has a whole set anymore.
It went from, okay, now you've got the Britannica CD-ROM, and then now you just don't need an encyclopedia because you've got Google. But all that to say, yearbooks were held to a really high esteem in my household growing up. And I, at some point, realized like, Mom, Dad, why don't you have your senior yearbook? We only have your junior yearbook. And I knew that at an older age, my mom had gone back and purchased that junior yearbook. She did not get it growing up. She was one of 9. They had everything they needed, but with one of 9 and not having an exuberant amount of money, that was something that as an adult, she went back and got herself. The reason that they didn't have their senior yearbook on top of all of the same reasons she didn't have junior was my mom did have my sister, my oldest one, right after her senior year. And so part of senior year, she did not go to school, but she basically had almost all the classes she needed. She just needed like a government class, I think. Mom, you can clock me if I'm wrong. But so she did night class after my sister was born, and then she got her full diploma. But so my mom watched my dad walk. This tears me up every single time, but she would be, oh, honey, I was fine. But my mom watched my dad walk at his graduation right after my sister was born. It was probably weeks after, like barely. My sister's birthday's in June. Oh, that just always tore me up. She didn't have her senior yearbook. She watched my dad graduate, didn't get to. So come Mother's Day, several years ago now, I found that damn senior yearbook and I ordered it and she cried. Oh, it was the best ever. But it was interesting because she liked it. So that yearbook is like not in print. You can't just easily find it. So I had to order a copy of it specially made. I was so stoked I found it. The person whose yearbook was copied, because it's was so old before people were doing this kind of stuff, right? He had like a bunch of writings. Now, my mom doesn't know who the person was, but it has like the signatures of the yearbook.
Oh my gosh. So it feels even like she got to get it signed by people. Oh, how nice.
I was kind of like, oh, dang. But she loved that. Like, it didn't matter to her. And so I got that woman her senior yearbook all of these years later. And so she's gone through it with friends, and she is not sentimental with items. She is easily to let something serve its purpose and move it on, even like our kids' stuff. She's more like the memories are sentimental for her, the home, the environment. That's what matters to her, not necessarily the things totally. Anyways, it was the one thing she wanted for so long, and that bothered me she didn't have. And I was like, I will never feel this good giving a gift ever.
That's so sweet. I love that story.
Yes, I gave it to her. I think it was Mother's Day.
That's the perfect day to do it too. Because like of everything that it represented, you know, she didn't get her own because of everything that happened when becoming a mom. So it was really a full circle moment.
I don't think she had thought about being able to find a copy these days, or how do I do that these days? And she had that junior yearbook probably since before I was born. Like, she went back and got whatever yearbook she could that she knew she was in. And I don't even know, Mom, you'll have to tell me, but like, I don't even know like what year she got that yearbook. I did really want to get hardcover. It did come soft cover. I wasn't allowed to pick the way that they bind and send it, but it was in perfect condition and she was happy.
That's what matters. I'm going through something like that as well. My dad listens, so I don't want to like say too much.
I'm giving my mom's whole life story. You're so for the life. Sorry, Mom.
For their wedding, they got married in the 80s and they didn't hire a videographer, but their aunt and like a cousin both had video cameras and both said, we'll bring our video cameras. Well, both didn't bring it. They ended up finding someone who had one, but they only have like a 30-second, maybe a minute clip of their wedding on a Super 8. I was able to find the little film, but to get that digitized, you have to send it out to somewhere. And I'm really afraid to send it out somewhere because what if it gets damaged in the process? Then no one ever gets to see it. So I'm in the process of finding someone that is reputable and hopefully getting it digitized. I was looking to do that by their anniversary. We'll see if it actually happens.
It's hard because it's like, okay, we already don't watch it because we don't have the thing, right?
Right.
But then you go, but if it's ruined, then we never can.
Then like the chances are zero.
That's why I haven't sent out all of our VHSs of home movies. And I am telling you, once I was born and they had me and my sister that I'm 2 years apart with. And then of course they had my brother. And then my oldest sister was probably graduating or already in college. They finally got that video camera and that thing was out all the time. But they also used to rent one a lot of times too before they finally bought one. I'm pretty sure it was JVC and it was huge and heavy.
The kind that goes on your shoulder?
It went on your shoulder. And then of course,
they got smaller.
Eventually we got a smaller one closer to like very late 90s. By that time we had the smaller one, probably like 98, 99. And it was coming out less because we were getting older and getting ready to, you know, my sister probably would have already been in middle school. I'm getting ready to start middle school. What a time, because I do wonder, and I was talking about this with my sister, like about her kids. She's like, they don't really have home videos and pictures. Like they're all like on my phone. But like when they're, for example, like 20,
they're in the cloud.
What? Yeah. Am I still going to have all these? Like, it's just weird. You forget what you have. Whereas like, I could talk to you about the different home movies. Like, oh, we have this and this happened, you know, one of the Christmas ones. And I'm pretty sure it was Christmas, 93 or 4. We have this, and you kind of remember them because we used to watch them. Even though we had so many, I could still categorize them. But now, like, I can't even think about what pictures I have from like 2018. Like, I'm like, oh.
I even think about like my wedding photos. I have them on an external hard drive, but I never made a book. That's still on my list of like things I need to do. I need to make a book. Or no, just because like it stressed me out, because usually whoever does your photography, you get the book through them and you have to go and sit with them and you go through and format it together. And it's just a long drawn out process and it's not cheap. It wasn't something I wanted to do. And now I'm like, I need to do it before maybe there's a fire. Like what if something happened and I lost the external hard drive? I would not have any photos.
It was kind of a lot. You are correct. In my case, I fall under that category of my photographer made it for us.
Yeah, I think I was quoted $4,000 for a book.
Oh, God.
Like I would not pay that much. I've actually looked at article Uprising. I think they're half that, maybe like 1,800.
Yeah, 4,000 is a lot.
Insane.
Mine was not, and the front of it is crystal.
Oh.
It's actually interesting, I guess, to describe it as concise as Paige knows how to be. Listen, I annoy myself. I understand. I'm not short-winded, or I'm very long-winded. It's like a big crystal overlay. So it's like the size of the cover and it goes over it. It's beautiful. I will have to show you because I know it sounds a little funky, but it's like a big piece of crystal that like goes over it.
Pretty.
Yeah, it is. It's very,
I'll have
it's
to
hardy.
sneak a peek next time.
Yes, I will show you. It's hardy and somewhat thick, but it's still, you can like open the book. Like it's not like you don't go, oh, what's this? I had never heard of that either, but the photographer goes, hey, my books have a crystal overlay. It's really pretty. Here's an example. And I was like, wow. So really all I did was, of course, tell her what pictures I like. But I do this when people cut my hair, when I get a book for my wedding. Anytime I'm working with a creative, I like to tell them, of course, what I'm hoping for stylistically. With a photographer, I told her, I've said this probably our last episode, I don't want you to look at my photos and know what year it is very easily. I kind of like to tell them, a little bit of what I sort of hope for stylistically, but like let them go crazy. And also, especially with photographers, if you look at past work and you're not in love with styles and you're going to make them
well, then they're probably the wrong choice for you.
They're the wrong choice because photography is art. So art has styles, right? You're not going to tell Picasso to paint like Dali or Warhol. You know what I mean?
I love that you're able to let go of the reins a little bit. And I think that's my issue is I probably wouldn't have to sit with them too long, but I just would want my hands in it because it's like something that is representative of like your start to your marriage. And like, I feel like I made so many choices and how everything would look. I would want the book to come out a certain way. At least at that time. Now I think I would just, someone do it for me. You know what I mean? Like just get it done. I'll pay whatever, not $4,000, but I'll pay.
It might be today. Shoot.
I know. Hopefully not, but I'll pay $1,000. Just get it done. I don't want another job on my plate. That's kind of where I'm at this point.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Summer tastes like Tic Tac. Tantalize your taste buds this sunny season with citrus adventure and orange. 2 everyday flavors that bring summer in every. Tic Tac Citrus Adventure is a yummy, vibrant medley of lemon, lime, and mandarin. And Tic Tac Orange is the perfect mix of tangy and sweet. Visit us at Tic Tac USA on social to refresh your summer with Tic Tac.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
getting married was a lot of work. And it was just another piece after, like, you felt like all these people wanted your time and attention in these spurts, right? It was hurry up, wait, hurry up, wait. So if anybody's engaged here, just be prepared a little bit for that. It's still a lot of fun because you're kind of creating like your dream party, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of like hurry up and wait. And so it was like one of those last things where it was like, okay, I just finished thank you notes and now I got to freaking go through all these pictures. 15 of them look very similar. What do I like the best?
My head is turned a little in this one.
Woe is me, because I was very lucky to have the wedding I had, because people still talk about the food. And I saw a TikTok the other day, chronically online. We told you guys. And it was talking about like, oh, talk me out of these traditional wedding things as a 2026 bride, meaning like, tell me why I should or shouldn't do these things. And it was like a carousel, pretty creative post. And it was kind of fun to go through, kind of relive that 10 years later. And I commented actually, and I just said, look, the thing that people remember today where you should invest money is, this is my opinion, your venue, your food, your DJ. Because I've gone to some weddings where the DJ was terrible and it really broke me. Getting married is just a lot because it's like a lot of hurry up and wait with all of your vendors and things like that. And thinking about all that reminds me that I was on TikTok, chronically online, as we tell you guys every episode. It was kind of an interesting post. It was asking people to like talk them in or out of these traditional wedding ideas that they had. And I think specifically this one was talking about where they also wanted to like invest money in weddings. And I told them in a comment, and I have to like stop myself from commenting because I'm annoying and have just like way too much to say.
But you know what? In your defense, the comments are my favorite part of TikTok. I like reading what other people have to say. They have great insights. I'm just more of a lurker, and that's fine. We need commenters. We need lurkers.
Yes, you learn so much, or they're just really hilarious. We've said that before. So I was like, you know what? I really did feel compelled to tell them, listen, this is where you want to spend your money, coming from somebody who had a pretty expensive wedding, thank you, mom and dad, 10 years ago, and what people are talking about today. I told her, people still talk about the venue, people still talk about the food, and people still talk to us about the party aspect, which is the DJ. So that's where, if you are engaged right now, this is where we'll leave the wedding conversation. If you are getting married or somebody you know is getting married and kind of struggling, where do they want to put the big bucks? Where do they not? That's what people are going to remember. Honestly, the reception, it's for you to enjoy those people you love. It's basically a party, which is to celebrate you, but for them. Does that make sense? Like, it's hard to explain because like your wedding is, you're footing the bill and paying for everything, but it's for them because you have to have stuff that makes them want to come and celebrate you. Unless you're all just going to kumbaya under a tree somewhere, that's fine too. But like, that's not what that type of wedding is that she was talking about. She's talking about a big traditional wedding, which I don't even want to know how much a wedding would cost today, by the way. Let me leave it there, I guess.
Oh, easily 6 figures.
Judging by what mine was 10 years ago, yeah. And I'm not even like Elon Musk's kid or a Bezos. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a normal upper middle class gal. Gal. I really hate that word. Why does it come out of my mouth? I don't know.
Okay. So speaking of, I love wedding talk, but I'm a little fixated on the conversations that happen on social media. And there's this person I've been following for a couple of weeks now. His name is Oliver Widger. He goes by the handle Sailing with Phoenix. He's an Oregon man who left everything behind, basically, and is sailing solo to Hawaii with his cat, Phoenix. So that's where the name comes from, Sailing with Phoenix. Basically, he quit his job. He sold off all of his possessions, cashed out his 401k, and bought a boat last year, taught himself how to sail the boat via
you didn't
YouTube.
Even know that?
No.
Whoa.
And basically set sail about 30 days ago, at least at the time of this recording. And his goal was to go from Oregon to Hawaii. And so after about 30 days at sea, he arrived in Hawaii, I think yesterday or the day before. He had an explosive welcome. He's become such a huge creator on TikTok in a month, basically. He has 1 million+ followers now on TikTok and 1.7 on Instagram. He was just an ordinary guy sharing his time at sea with his cat. it's just kind of wild to see how he's experiencing this virality of just being a normal guy when he left the contiguous United States. And now he's in Hawaii 30 days later and he's some celebrity. I can't even explain what that must feel like. It feels like a movie.
It's fitting for such a big voyage, if you really think about it, right? Like it's such a big move in your life. You're going from one state to another in such an interesting and captivating way and engaging people along the way. It's kind of fitting that like his life is probably going to forever now be like before and after that voyage.
Oh,
no matter
sure.
if he goes back to the contiguous, the US or the mainland or not. It's just so interesting. I can't believe this didn't hit my For You page. I'm actually really upset about it.
Well, I bet you now that your phone has heard us talk about it, it's going to pick it up. And when you open up TikTok, it'll show up.
It'll be the first one.
Yeah, it'll be the first thing you see. I feel like I throw this word around a lot, but he does have an authenticity about him. He's pretty courageous to set out and do something that he didn't grow up doing alone. Mm-hmm. And I like the element that he has his furry companion with him. It feels almost like an underdog's journey.
It does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? Like you almost beat the system in a way. Like you figured out how to sail. You had never had a sailing lesson, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Sounds like.
Well, not if YouTube counts, I guess.
In the most modern of ways, on top of all of this, listen, taking your animal on a sailboat like that, like freaks me out though, because what if they jump off? Like I would be freaked out.
Honestly, the cat is like a Zoe where she just sits there. She sits there and she's the captain of the ship, the sailboat. She sits in the chair. She just relaxes. And when he does his video interviews, he has to move for the cat to be in her spot. Yeah. She's running the ship.
I love that.
It's just a fun type of content when I feel like nowadays there's a lot of content fatigue where everyone's sort of putting out the same thing.
And their faces are starting to look the same too.
Yes.
Did we share whatever that was that we saw that? Did we share that? Maybe I didn't, but like there's something called like Instagram face where a lot of content creators are starting to, well, and I should say influencers, not necessarily content creators, because there's a lot of content creators that are influencers like us, right? These influencers are starting to look the same. They're getting filler in the same spots. Some of them are probably going to the same doctors.
Have you heard of that discussion in terms of movies? You know, when you watch a period piece, people are saying, I don't want to watch someone that looks like they have Instagram face, you know, with their lip flip and their Botox. Like, I want to see
rectangle white teeth.
I want to see their real teeth. I want to see emotion on their face. That's something that I think people in the entertainment industry, specifically like actors, are going to start coming, facing basically, because will they be able to take certain roles when they look a certain way?
Right. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's actually changing what people are conceiving as beautiful. And I think it's destroying the self-esteem of people, not because, these influencers are beautiful, but it's because it's not what people come out looking like. It's from filler. And so people are like, well, I don't look like that. And so you start to get down on yourself. It's like, but wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But it's not just faces either. You're starting to see that with fashion trends. I've seen countless videos where people have said, they'll show their outfit and they'll say, I thought I had a really great outfit on. I felt like it really captured the aesthetic of where I'm at. Maybe they're on vacation. And then they'll show probably 10 clips of 10 other people wearing the same exact outfit because they all went on TikTok or they all went on social media or Pinterest and basically used the same post as inspiration. So there's like no sense of individuality anymore when it comes to how you look physically or even just what you're wearing. And it's a little scary.
Right. And I think that buying everything online, which listen, if I'm buying it, it's online. It's not like going to your local mall now where regionally there were similar stores, but there's going to be that variation. So you'll see comments that say like, what year did I graduate? And then in the comments, you'll see like, 2008 or if Midwest, 2010.
There's a flag.
Behind, but there's like certain changes and cultural and regional adaptations of things. And they last for different periods of time and different areas, like all of that. I could go on and on. So this is very interesting. And it kind of is interesting bringing it back to our sailor, because now this is something new he's got to take on, is this notoriety, and what is he going to take on of this new world that's opening up for him? I'm sure he's getting tapped to go on a news outlet or this, that, and the other, but like, what is going on, brand wise? Like, he's going to have all these opportunities.
I love that you brought this up because there has already been commercialization of his trip.
Oh my gosh.
There was a particular video that I just watched. It happened maybe a couple of days before he arrived in Hawaii. An airplane, a very small airplane, flies above him, and he's out in the middle of nowhere. For miles, you can't see anything but water on all sides. And a little twin engine airplane flies above him, gets his attention, and throws something out of the cockpit for him. It's a care package for him in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know how they found him.
Wow.
He's able to collect the package, and it's a fresh Jersey Mike's sub. There's cat treats, and there's handwritten messages from like 2 little girls saying how much they enjoy what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you start thinking like, okay, this is just some random follower. And it turns out, no, once he continued looking through the package, there was a bunch of branded content from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And it was sunscreen and other men's self-care products. And actually, the pilot was hired by e.l.f. Cosmetics to do this PR moment for him. And I really think it's like a brilliant marketing move. It's playful, it's relevant. They were very expeditious with it because like I would have imagined someone like Outdoorsy or even, like a regular sunscreen brand would have done it. But e.l.f. Cosmetics got in there before everyone else.
Oh, it's just so wild to me, though. Like, it's just so wild to me. And we've talked about these brands popping in comments and things like that. That was their way of, instead of just like leaving a comment on a more viral video of his, they just sent the care package. Just like, hey, that's an interesting way to do it. Very unique, very smart marketing wise.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure it gives some people the ick, and it is in-game capitalism in some ways too. But that is so business-wise, that's very smart. And at least they're giving him something useful like sunscreen and the cat treat.
And he's pretty sunburned, so he needed it.
Listen, one sunburn can turn into skin cancer in 20 years. It's kind of like how they say a heart attack starts when at 60 or something, starts when you're like 40 or, whatever. It's that same thing. Like that skin cancer doesn't just pop up. It's from burning and not wearing it all the time. So I'm so scared of getting like a basal cell carcinoma on my nose. So I put sunscreen on my nose before every walk now.
Well, you have beautiful skin. It looks like you've never had a pimple in your life. It's very smooth.
I had like 3. It was awful.
Okay. Sorry.
Like
3. You've only had 3.
But a lot of it comes from taking care of my skin since I was about 8 years old with a 3-step process. But, Miss OCD over here just fed into that immediately. And my mosaic turners, because it kind of affects hormones, I never had that flood. I had very controlled amounts of hormones.
Yeah.
So I never had that flood that may cause those things or that fluctuation per se, because it's so controlled medically. That's not the worst benefit from a chromosomal, whatever you want to call it. What's the word? Condition? I never know what to call it. It's not a disease. Condition, I guess. I like that. And there's a book about Turners that's called The Condition.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. But again, mine's mosaic. So it's like not every single chromosome of mine. Like you could look at 2 different sets of my DNA and it might look different.
Interesting.
Yeah. So mosaic isn't in every cell. So you could look at like 2 different cells and the DNA from it. One might have the missing chromosome and the other one might not. And the one that doesn't duplicated itself. So it's called an isochromosome. So as it started deleting, the cell was like, no. And it doubled the arms that were left. So it kind of like remade itself the best that it could. And here I am. And this is why a lot of like in utero babies with Turner syndrome don't survive, unfortunately, because that's just funky. Like, how am I alive? But this episode's not all about that, but I'm pretty open about it because I found out when I was like 10, and we talk about different things. So I think I'm okay with listeners knowing. And I've done 2 different podcasts surrounding infertility that I talk about it with. So anywho, I think this is a good space to jump off, actually, even though I feel like I just like dropped a bomb, even though I've talked about it before. But
no, I feel like it's good. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real like Oliver. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's like I told the person that I was talking about at the start of this episode. These are episodes for you guys to keep being able to get to know us. Whose voice am I listening to every Thursday, creating these true crime episodes? Now you guys get to know on Unscripted.
Yeah. So thanks for being here.
Yeah. A little bit of oversharing, a little bit of fun. We'll see you Thursday for a true crime episode and next Monday for your next Unscripted.
And until then, bye.
Spring is here, and it's time for some spring cleaning. HomeGlow is here to deliver consistent and affordable support for you, too, to get your spring cleaning done. HomeGlow is a top-rated service platform dedicated to making your space clean and tidy. Their website allows you to book online, which allows you to instantly schedule a cleaner in your area for a special occasion, that party you're getting ready to host, or just to book some regular help to take some things off your plate. What's comforting is that cleaners have to pass a rigorous certification process, and they also have to maintain a 4.8-star average platform rating. We know you're going to love your cleaners, so make sure you rate them really well too. HomeGlow is also a fantastic way to support the cleaners in your community because 100% of the cleaning fees and tips go directly to the cleaner that you hire through HomeGlow. With that, we are so thankful that this episode is brought to you in part by HomeGlow. Now let's talk about their Forever Clean membership. Schedule your cleaning by simply going to HomeGlow's website, choose the day and time you're looking for, and how long you want the cleaner to clean for. Then you'll get matched with a cleaner. You can schedule as quickly as this week or get something on the calendar for next month to check it off your to-do list early. On the website, you'll be able to check out photos and reviews of background checked cleaners before booking the right cleaner for you. The best part is that Forever Clean membership we talked about, which saves you $30 an hour on all future cleanings. You can book unlimited cleanings starting at $19 an hour, backed by HomeGlow's happiness guarantee. HomeGlow services are only available in the US. Take cleaning off your plate by using HomeGlow. Head to homeglow.com/diaries to get your first 3 hours of cleaning for only $19.